So I've been playing the Etheria Restart beta for a couple days now, and this is the final beta before release on June 5th. And that means that this game that we're playing right now is probably going to be the game we're going to be playing at release. So I have some concerns, I have some worries, I have some thoughts, some good, some bad. Let's just talk about it. Story. First off, let's talk about how the story gameplay is set up, how it's told, and what I think of the lore impression wise. First off, the movement in these story missions is very clunky. I feel like the character moves very stiffly. The walking and running animation feels weird if you're like trying to go in a circle. If the character is trying to go and climb boxes to a second story, that looks weird. I feel like it's just weird overall. The stealth attacks are fine. I probably would have just preferred maybe crouching. Just let us crouch and sneak up on an enemy instead of this weird hide behind the box little mechanic that they have going on. But that part is just a personal preference. Overall story plot. Humanity has gone into another apocalypse. And this time humanity has uploaded their collective consciousness into a computer. And in this computer, I think a bunch of bugs are happening. So they use people called animists to fight against these bugs. And that's fine. It's a fine backstory. It's kind of interesting that people uploaded their consciousness and we're playing as those people. But I'm kind of done with apocalypse stories. I feel like we could do without them now. It's time to move on. It's overdone. It's boring. It's boring. Overall, the lore, very interesting. If I just get past my whole burnt mindset on apocalypse stories, it's good. It's a decent backstory. Now let's get into the worst part. The storytelling is goddamn atrocious. There's too much fluff in every dialogue. You do not need to tell me what a videotape is. You do not need to go into detail about every damn little thing that we talk about. Character models are emotionless and stiff. It's like watching a still image, even though it's 3D rendered. It's literally a visual novel, but with 3D, with some actually rendered cutscenes here and there. Some NPCs don't even have faces. That's hella creepy. Could be due to just this being a testing phase, so maybe it'll be different during release. We'll have to see. One trope that they keep bringing back in a lot of these damn gacha games is MC getting dialogue choices, but they're a majority pointless. They just say the same thing but a different way, and it doesn't change the outcome of the current dialogue we're having. So why even bother adding it? I don't get it. MC is voiceless again. I'm tired of that. Very boring. The MC kind of just looks, does a tiny little emote, has big old bug eyes. Very boring. But it does have a skip button. Now, I don't think that having a skip button is a good thing. If you feel that you need a skip button in your story, maybe you should consider constructing a better storytelling method. This feels like, honestly, like Xiaoji from Hoyoverse came over and wrote this story here for them, and that was, I don't know, it just feels like a Xiaoji story, and I hate it because there's just so much dialogue bloat.
記憶の影跡ね。珍しいわ。ここまで完全な形で記憶の影跡が残されてるなんて。デジタルスペースの珍しい現象のことよ、チャク。簡単に言うと、ここに暮らしてた人がこの空間に記憶の記録を残したってこと。例えるならそうね。もし記憶を映像とすれば、残したい映像を空間に焼き付ける感じね。空間に焼き付けられた記憶のことを記憶の影跡って呼ぶの。そう、天然のビデオテープだと思ってもいいわよ。特殊な存在だけど、本質的に違いはないわ。
And just straight off from the first chapter, I'm already burnt out. I got up to third chapter, reading and watching and listening and everything, and oh my god, the amount of gameplay you get compared to the amount of talking there is. You would fight maybe 2 or 3 enemies, and then you'd go into a 30-minute cutscene to talk about butterflies, about videotapes, talking about architecture. Like, why? I do not need this. That could have been an email. Just give me the meat and potatoes and get me back into the gameplay. Yeah, you can talk while I fight too. That's fine too. But no, you're gonna be sitting there for 20-30 minutes listening to them talk, unless you just keep pressing spacebar or just skip entirely, which is kind of disappointing because I do like to know where the story's going. I love story. I want to know what these characters are about. I want to learn about them, but not like this. This is atrocious. This is atrocious. It's probably the worst thing about this game. The worst. So let's talk about the combat. So combat in Etheria Restart is a combination of Honkai Star Rail and Epic 7. For this game, you do field 4 to 5 characters. Depending on the stage, you can get a 5th. And as you can see, it is a behind the shoulder, the back view with 3 abilities for each character. And then you have your turn order, which is determined by the speed of your character. And if we're thinking about the Epic 7 portion of the game, they rely a lot on debuffing and buffing characters, taking away shields, applying shields to yourself, and there's just a lot of mechanics you have to work around, especially with bosses. Each bosses will have their own mechanic that you have to decide how to tackle with the characters you have on hand. Now, this can be good or bad depending on how rich you are, because at some point they're going to be releasing a ton of characters who do things better for the stages that you're trying to complete. And at some point, this game, if it becomes successful enough, will have a bloated amount of characters, and a lot of characters will become obsolete. If you look at Epic 7, they currently have 342 characters in that game. Now, I wonder how many of those characters are actually usable now. I haven't played Epic 7 in a long time. That was the first Gacha game I played. I played it for a few years. I love that game. I got burnt out from the gearing mechanic, the pulling, and I got bored of visual novel style storytelling. Which Etheria Restart, it feels like a visual novel with how static the characters are and how like unanimated their faces are, but that's besides the point. Animations of these characters look fine. Some of them look clunky, but they're fine overall. Tiamat is a very cool character, one of my favorites, but I do have an issue with her special form that she gets. It looks ugly as hell. But before we get there, the UI, I don't like it. I don't like this UI. It feels like they thought, all right, we're gonna copy Honkai Star Rail, so how can we make it look a little different? So they shoved all the important info we need, the health, the buff, the debuffs we get, into this tiny little corner here, where we can barely read anything that's going on with our character. And they just like increase this here with the skill buttons in like a tiny little corner. I think they should have just left it, leave the character info down here, make it bigger, and have the turn order like back up over here or the top. Because I need this bigger. Sometimes when you're not paying attention, you might heal the wrong people. You don't know how much health they have. Then when you put a shield on them, it kind of just, it fills it up. Not very clear on what we're trying to do. There's auto battle. There's a time 3 mode. Time 2, time 3. Very neat. And one of the best things this game has, continuous battle, where you can load up continuous battle, and depending on how much energy you have, the max is 10. You start it. yes. Start it, and we can drop it down to the back, and it'll run at the same time, so we can peruse the other parts of the game, as well as even go into another game mode to fight. So we could just start that. So while the game's running in the background collecting resources for us, we can still fight bosses and do other things. And I think that's very cool. I think every other game should do that. It's a good idea. Because I am tired of farming resources in Withering Waves and the Zone Zero. I'm tired of it. Having to run the same stage over and over. Like, it's tiring. That's why I don't even want to like pull new characters in those games, because I know I have to collect materials for them. The drag. One last thing I do want to talk about. 3-starring a stage requires you to beat the stage in a certain amount of time. If you can clear it before 1 minute, you get 3 stars. And that's kind of hard when it's a turn-based game. Action-based RPGs, I understand them doing a timed reward system, but they should have just kept it with Honkai Star Rail system with the turn orders. That would make more sense for a turn-based game. But fine. I think that's it for the overall impression on combat. I think if you enjoyed Epic 7, you'll probably like this game. This game's combat is competent, it's not bad. The depth that they put into the bosses and the different amount of game modes they have out, and they're probably going to add more too. But let's talk about Arena next. There are 3 different game modes for Arena for PvP. And one is the usual where you set a defense team and you fight against other players' defense team, but it's their AI. Then there are 2 real-time arenas. One's a tournament, one's a regular arena for you to just get rewards on the side. So you play people real time. I don't like PvP. I think it's just gonna be a whale pay-to-win fest. PvP and gacha games are always a bad idea in my opinion, but people like it. Not for me. If I were to play this game, it'd just be doing the PvE stuff. But with how atrocious the story is, I'm probably not going to be playing this game. I don't think it's ready, and I don't think it's good enough to spend all my time on. But let's talk about the pulling system. So they do a few good things and they do a few questionable things. The first good thing is that there are no 50-50. So the moment you get your SSR drop, it will be the featured character, which is very good. Love that. I think every other game should do this. So I do hope this game does become popular, so other gacha games start copying this, because this is great. Downside. Pity is 100. You need 100 pulls to get the character, and that's too much. That is too much for one character. I know, there's no weapon banner, there's no 50-50, but still 100 is too much. Because they're still following the same payment structure as other gacha games. And I'll talk about that in the shopping section. But I think this is very lame. Because eventually, this game will probably follow the route of Epic 7. They're going to have 342 characters at some point. They're going to FOMO people, because at some point they're going to add harder stages. Hard enough to the point where you're going to need the new characters that come out. And if you don't get the characters, you'll be behind and you won't be able to complete those stages 3-starred. And that's going to be disappointing, and that'll FOMO people into buying and spending. And I think that's scummy. My other big issue is the light and dark character banner. I don't know why there's a separate banner for them with separate currency, and I don't know if it's a good thing or not. I know Epic 7 had it. People really did FOMO those as well. Just having this alongside a regular standard banner is just another thing for people to FOMO and spend on, and I don't think I like it. The game has to make money somehow, right? So let's talk about how they make their money. Let's talk about the shop. So they have the usual standard gacha scummy shopping system. You have your monthly card, you get rewards every month. You have your value packs, which no one buys unless you're a whale. Weekly packs. And they also add a free item here to make sure you come back and look at the store and hopefully entice you to buy these packs. Scummy. And here we have the recharge 99 cents for 60 crystals. Oh, with the bonus of another 60 crystals. But what is 60 crystals? We don't know. This is meant to confuse you. It's meant to give you some leftovers too. So you have to buy another pack to make up and get the purchase that you want. Like these dumb freaking value packs. So again, I know the FTC is passing laws, especially on Genshin, to get these systems in a way that people can actually understand what they're spending their money on. And I think that's a good thing. I'm tired of seeing this ass. In the exchange shop, we do get a chance to pull 2 dupes of the featured character banner at the moment. So I like this. I think you get these anima crystals from pulling. So maybe save them up. Then you get your dupes. That's cool. Arena shop stuff. And you have your anima shop, which has SR units on it. And I think items restock every week. I don't know if it refreshes with different characters or just stays with the same ones, but I think that's neat. I don't know where you get this, so it's probably gonna be annoying to get them. They're doing a 200% rebate, purchase rebate. I think that's hella scummy. I think that just causes FOMO in people. Hey, we get 200% back for every purchases we make in this game right now that's not even released yet. I barely played. I don't know if it's good, but I gotta put my money in because that's 200%. What if I love this game? But what if you don't? So I think that's pretty scummy. Overall, gameplay is competent. I enjoyed Epic 7's gameplay, so I can see this being good. Story is atrocious. I fucking hate it. This story, I never know. I would just... this is a skipping game, which is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Because I love story, and without the story, we won't know anything about the characters, and that's just disappointing. So at some point, this game would just be all about combat and PvP, and that's just not for me. Which is fine. It's fine. I know people will be enjoying this game. I just will not be there. And if you enjoy this game, let me know. Why do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy the story? If you do, I feel bad for you. Anyways, that's it. That's Etheria Restart. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.
夢と気づいた夜君を見つめまぶた落としぬくもりも重ねた手も